Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. There are two types of people in this world. Those who are wise and those who are otherwise. Wise people are never miserable and otherwise people are never happy. So if we are miserable, we are otherwise. If we are happy, we are wise. Now between these two types of people, whom do we like? Do we like somebody who is constantly complaining, frustrated? Like, many people, when they look at me, they remember questions. Otherwise, they are normal. It is not their fault. I am a questionable personality. Swami, I got a question. Swami, एक छोटी सी शंका है हिंदी छोटी सी शंका है छोटी शंका मीन्स लघु शंका Therefore, we have to decide whether we want to be wise or otherwise. Vidwan sarvatra pujyate. Wise people are respected everywhere. Otherwise are not respected in their own house. Forget about outside. So if we want to be wise in our life, what we have to do? Now before I tell you what you have to do, one important principle of life. When we go to the doctor doesn't ask us, what is the disease you are having? Doctor asks us, what are the symptoms? He doesn't ask the disease, symptoms. And then we tell the symptoms. When everybody is feeling very hot, I feel cold. So you are suffering from malaria. When everybody is happy, I am feeling miserable and lost and condemned and all that. Then you are suffering from lavaria. So from the symptoms we go to the disease. In the same manner, if somebody is wise, what are the symptoms of being wise? See? So those symptoms are our spiritual practice. So if we practice those symptoms, we will attain wisdom. So the first symptom of wisdom is, Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells Arjuna, first symptom. Like all of us, Arjuna was talking on wisdom, on great things. These goody characters are very dangerous. I don't eat onion, I don't eat garlic, I don't go to the hotels, I take bath early in the morning. And I get up very early morning at 4 o'clock and then go to sleep. Dangerous guys. So Arjuna was like that in the first chapter. See, if we fight this war, so many things will happen, this will be very bad. They don't understand, but we understand. They are fools, but we are wise. We should not fight this war. All the wisdom he told Bhagavan Krishna, because what he knows Krishna, he was a cowherd running after the gopis and cows. What he understands? And when he started crying, Etan hantum ichchami gnatopi madhusudana, I don't want to fight this war, I want to kill them, even if I am killed. Bhagavan was smiling at him. And then he gave him left and right. See, Bhagavan says, Ashocha nanva shochastvam prajna vajascha bhasase gatasuna gatasuncha nanu shochanti panditaha. You are talking like a wise man. What does it mean? You are otherwise. And then who is the wise man? Gatasuna gatasuncha. Asu means life, prana. So gata asun. When the pran departs from the body, when somebody dies, and when somebody doesn't die, asur. So, fools are miserable when somebody dies and when somebody doesn't die. ये मरता भी नहीं. Both ways they are miserable. And wise people are those who are not miserable whether somebody dies or somebody is alive. In short, wise people are never miserable on any count. So this is the symptom of wisdom. So what should be your spiritual practice to live in meditation? Be happy. Don't find out a reason why you are happy. Be unreasonably happy. For being happy, you don't have to be very great thing, no, just happy like that. Like small kids are happy for no reason. And that happiness or wisdom comes from when our wisdom is steady. Our wisdom is unsteady. When it is required for others, we are all the wise. But when the same problem comes to us in our life, we become otherwise. See, friends. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna says, Siddhya Siddhyo Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Wise people are those who maintain the equanimity of their mind under all conditions. Then alone you are wise. Therefore, we function in this world, attention is on our equanimity. And when this equanimity was almost disproportionately emphasized by Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Arjuna was surprised. As regards I am concerned, I am told, karmanye vadikaraste, you do your job. But when the glorification has to be done, it is the wisdom, steadiness of the wisdom that is glorified. And I am not an ordinary person, I want to be wise. Therefore, Arjuna asked this question. What are the symptoms of a man with steady wisdom? So, living in meditation means when our wisdom remains steady under all conditions. So, Arjuna asked 4 questions. First question is, what is the meaning of meditation for a man of steady wisdom? Second question is, how he responds to the situations that come to his life. Third question, how does he move around in this world? Fourth question, what is the foundation on which he is standing? Because of which his wisdom is steady. 4 questions. We will take the first one, basically, living in meditation. So Bhagavan replies, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. When one is able to live at a zero desire level, no desires, yada sarvan manogatan kaman prajahati. When all the desires entertained by the mind are given up for good. Now the question comes, can somebody live without desires? Youngsters particularly have this problem. One youngster asked me in one university when I was talking, he said, because of you people, our country is not progressing. I said, what we have done, Baba, tell me. He said, you tell, do your job or don't desire. Without desire, who will work? Are we fool or what? So go and work but don't take the salary. Who will do that? I said, okay, you are very intelligent, let us analyze. We live only to fulfill our desires in our whole life. What we have achieved, we know. Everybody knows what we have achieved in life. Take all the great masters. They also live in this world without, under the influence of the desire fulfillment. And see their achievements. See, there are two promptings which push us into activity. One prompting is the desire. Second prompting is inspiration. Desire is always for the finite. Inspiration springs forth from the infinite. See? So who is prompting us into life? We are all prompted by the desires. So I work hard and finish my education. Then I'll get a beautiful job or start my business. And then I will get married. And then I'll have children. And then I'll educate the children. And then the children will get married. And then they will educate their children. No end. It's like, the vicious cycle continues. And then in the old age, see, I did so much for my family, but nobody wants me. So the world is most ungrateful. I am not fabricating stories. Without referring names, I am telling you this. There is one lady. She is in her mid-40s. I won't tell you the name and place. So where I was staying, because I don't entertain question answer, so that point was over. So when I went for a walk, she said, Swami, may I join with you for a walk? I said, come. But don't ask questions, okay? So we are walking. And she said, Swami, you told me not to ask questions. But I am very frustrated in my life. What should I do? I said, don't remain frustrated. Relax. No, but then she started telling her story. No, I can't run away because I got khada. In khada, you can't run away. So he said, when I was, in first year, second year of college, I did everything because my father died. We were 3 sisters and 1 brother. So I had to take the responsibility. I worked day and night. I educated my sisters and brothers, got them married. At the cost of my own life. Everybody is now settled. But when I go to my brother's place, he tells me, Didi, my wife doesn't want you to be here. Do you want to destroy our family life? She pushes me out. When I go to my sisters, they say, my husband doesn't like anybody coming from. Please, I'm sorry. And again, Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. Triveni Sangam. Swamiji, what should I do? I said, Avichara kruto bandhaha vicharena nivartate. Wrong thinking is the cause of all problems. Right thinking is the solution to all problems. You are thinking wrong. Did anybody ask you, do this what you have done? No. Why did you do it? Nobody asked you. If you have done, it is your need, therefore you have done. We don't oblige anybody in this world. See, friends, therefore, living in meditation means find out who is prompting us to get into activity. Is it the desire? Now, what is the desire? Desire is declaration of bankruptcy of happiness. Otherwise, educated, well-built, earning, smart, healthy boy, why should he want to get married? For him, what a life without a wife. There is no need. this imagination that I am incomplete and I will become complete if I get this, if I get that. This is how we keep on accumulating the things around us. And therefore, our desires are always about the finite. See? Now we are here. Look at the beautiful red mountains around. Has anybody till now desired, I wish I can take this mountain in my house? You cannot have the desire for the infinite. You will have the desire, if I can have a small house over here. Desire is always about the something finite. About the infinite, you cannot have desire. And when you are abiding in the infinite, you are inspired. See, friends, therefore, if we have to live in meditation, we have to remain in this awareness, who is prompting us into activity. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Yada sarvan manogatan kaman prajahati. When we give up all the desires entertained by the mind. And these desires have no logic, no reason. Only when you become aware, it will go away. See, I'll tell you my weakness. I do not know why, but it is there. I am very much fond of bags. What is the logic? I can carry only one bag. I cannot carry two bags. They don't allow. And yet I want bags. And that bag I will use once and then give to somebody. But then I want you. What is this funny things? But it is there. No logic. See? Take another example about these desires. Or desires expressed as likes and dislikes. What we like, we run after that. What we dislike, we run away from that. What is our life? Run or run. Either towards or away. And when you keep running constantly, you get tired in life. See, friends, therefore, desires express in our mind as likes and dislikes, number one. Number two, these likes and dislikes have no reason, no logic. Some people like green color, somebody likes yellow, somebody likes red. What is the logic? No logic. Now, for example, she has put the purple color. Why she likes purple color? No logic. I like it. See? You don't like something. Why you don't like? I don't like, me don't like. That's it. There's no logic. Our whole life is guided by this illogical force in us called as desire. So when we are told give up all desires, means what? Do not function under the influence of personal likes and dislikes. Then how do we function? Whatever is to be done must be done, whether you like or you don't like. Like after eating 4 idlis, my brain is sleeping. Swami, not only yours, ours is also. Yet we have decided we'll start again our next class at about 9 o'clock. So we started. Then our personal likes and dislikes, they are not allowed to influence us. Therefore, this kartavya karma, duty orientation lifestyle is that style wherein we do not promote our personal likes and dislikes. It is for this purpose, do your duty, whether you like or you don't like. See, friends, with this understanding, when you do the duties, then you are the seeker of truth. But if you do your duties and suffer afterwards, see, I have done so much for them, but nobody wants me. Who asked you to do? See, friends, all those who do good to others and suffer afterwards because of their own goodness, it was not goodness at all. Therefore, living in meditation is find out who is prompting, likes, dislikes, or the wisdom. And what is the wisdom? What is to be done must be done. What should not be done should not be done. Relax. See, mind remains at peace under all conditions. Otherwise, we do something, oh God, I don't want, but anyway I have to go, what others will say. Oh. Then you are just carrying a burden on yourself. So, prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogata. Now, second meaning, see, giving up all desires means giving yourself minimum choice to an extent of no choice. More the choice you give to yourself, more miserable you are. Less choice you give, less miserable you are. Don't you give any choice, you are happiest. This technique I follow in my lifestyle. It is such a joy, you try this. Now I go to so many places, stay in so many places, with so many people. Now, where I will stay, I don't think. Somebody thinks. Then, what kind of food I will eat, I don't think they think. Then, what about my clothes washing, etc., I don't think they think. Then, my clothes have to be ironed, I don't think they do it. So, when they are doing everything, am I not happy? Now, go one step further. What I had to do, I don't think they tell. Therefore, I have never taken any decision in my life. Swamiji, what program we will have? Yes, you tell me. What is this is correct. Relax. Engage others to think for you and you relax. Life will be most beautiful. But on small little issues, see, I want it this way. This is such a simple but deep principle if you catch it. One example I will give you. There was one elderly architect. He was the architect of, central government Delhi, and he was a town planner, chief. So unless he approves something, things cannot be done. He was a Bengali and a very strong personality. And he was pretty elderly. His wife was young. He was 60, his wife was 45. And whatever was the reason, she died. So he became suddenly depressed. So his student, he was teaching in college also, visiting faculty. His student told, "Sir, why don't you come and listen to our Swamiji? It may help you." So when you fail everywhere, you come for satsang. So he came. Like, when you fail everywhere, then you go to the temple and tie some thread here, or start taking the organic, or even the cow urine, you start taking. Call it Gomutra. What is Gomutra, I remember. Once we were going in India somewhere, and there was one old lady with me. That is the reason I don't like too many people with me. It becomes very uncomfortable. So she was, what can you do? It is her son's car, I have no choice. So, somewhere our car stopped for whatever reason. I thought, okay, let me relax. And I saw there was one cattle farm. So I went there. Swamiji, what are you doing? Where are you going? I said, can't you see? I am doing this. She went to her car and emptied one 2-liter bottle of 25 rupees on the floor. Came with the empty bottle. Swamiji, I am very happy. Why? I wanted to collect the Gomutra. Here I am going to get it. I said, my God, now this Gomutra will smell throughout the car the whole day. And to old people, you cannot tell anything. They are very obsessed. They don't want to change. Then I thought what to do. I said, Mama, you have seen these cows are not Indian cows. See, they are all white and jersey and all kind of things. They are not Indian. Then they don't give Gomutra, they give urine. See, Go Mata gives Gomutra. Cow gives urine. So you want to carry the urine? Really? Yes. And it stopped. So, these are so simple things. Must not get obsessed with anything. Give yourself a zero choice. So where to go, what to go, everything, just relax, relax, relax. In this manner, when you start working on your mind, then who is prompting you, the likes and dislikes, or our obsessions, or we want the things to happen according to our choice? No. Let the things take their shape. Friends, like any plant you see in the world, every plant grows only in that place which is most optimum for its growth. You will see here the cacti all around. You don't see the cactus on the side of the sea. You don't see. Only in Arizona. See? Because this is the ideal place. Exactly the same way. What is ideal for our growth? That alone happens in our life. Don't opt for too many choices. So give yourself zero choice. You are happiest. And that is what matters the most. So prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. First. Then the third meaning of desires to be given up. When we give zero choice to ourselves, there is nothing to think. Be attentive. All the problems begin when you think. Stop thinking. Relax. Don't we unknowingly do this? Many places, like one person asked me, Swamiji, I am doing meditation. I said, it's your problem. No, I got one small problem. Everything is okay. Only when I sit for meditation, my mind runs here and there. What should I do? I said, you also start running, match with the mind. Then it will be a dynamic meditation. Mind is running, you are running. So both are going together. Now what is happening? Mind is running and you are sitting, therefore you are suffering. So when the mind runs, you also start running. Meditation. See friends, be attentive. Thoughts create a momentum in the mind. I am taking you deeper to get freedom from desire. See? There are how the desires create momentum in the mind. Suppose I get up in the morning and then after I finish my everything and then I want to have a cup of tea. So I want a cup of tea is a desire. Now this desire will not end there. Then where will I get? Second thought. Third thought. Is it possible to heat the water? Fourth thought. Are the tea bags available? Fifth thought. Am I going to disturb everybody? Sixth thought. Forget about the tea. Seventh thought. Again I get up. But why should I bother for others? Let me have my tea. So the mind gathers a momentum. This particular point, please catch it properly. Any thought which breeds the next thought creates a momentum in the mind. And that momentum creates a personality. Such people do not have patience because the momentum is so terrible, like the gush of a river. To get out of that, it is here the chanting the Lord's name is brought into picture. I want a cup of tea, where it is available, go, 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 go. Speed. Now chant the Lord's name. That is also a thought, but it doesn't generate momentum in the mind. So, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. The Lord is infinite. His name is infinite. Infinite cannot be repeated. Therefore, the thought is complete, and therefore, next thought is not required to be born. I want a cup of tea, a sense of incompleteness. To make it complete, the next thought comes, where the tea is available. Contrary to that, when you chant the Lord's name, every mantra is complete in itself. So, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. With this understanding, when you chant the Lord's name, then your mind will not develop a momentum. But those people who are concerned and worried about the number that they have to complete, Om Murmu Sata Siddharpanda Marka Devasta Dimendi Om Murmu Sata Siddharpanda Marka Om Murmu Sata ultimately it becomes only buru 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 buru. Who told you that? So when we start working on the mind, then desires are not allowed to be the prompting factors in our life. That is important. And desires are always about the finite. You cannot desire the infinite. Like eyes can see finite colors and forms. Eyes cannot see the infinite, formless, colorless, the space. And when the eyes try to see the infinite, colorless, formless space, optical illusion happens. And in that illusion, we start thinking, I don't like this blue color, I want to make it red. Should I start painting the sky? In the same manner, we start imagining, I want this, I want that. If I get this thing, I will be happy. So we get it, and then we regret, I should not have got it. This is how here in this country, many things are returned back to the shops. They'll buy it, bring at home. Without opening, they'll return it. Why did you buy it? See, these desires are creating a havoc in our life. You see, where desire fulfillment is a promise under the disguise of spirituality, there you will get huge crowds. Manokamna Devi, huge crowd there. Chittapurni Devi, the one who will fulfill all the desires in your mind. You see all these stotras that you chant. What is the Falashruti? Falashruti is this only. Those who do not have money, they will get money. Those who do not have marriage, they will get married. Those who do not have children, they will get children. Those who do not have health, they will get health. Therefore, you should chant this. So, what is happening? God is becoming the means and worldly achievements is becoming the goal. So, what we do? We put Hanumanji outside the house, Ganeshji outside the house, and tell Hanumanji, we are going to India for 3 weeks, take care of our house. Hanuman is standing there with a gada in the hand. And the Hanumanji is in the house of a chameleon. Then he is standing there with a gada in the hand. For Tamilian, there is no difference between ta, tha, da, dha. Therefore, Om Gadhadharaya Namaha. भगवान के हाथ में गधा पकड़ा दिया. Friends. Therefore, living in meditation means, be attentive, life is the means and abidance in the truth is the goal. But for us, it is the other way around. That God abide the truth, that becomes the means, and fulfillment of the desires in this world, that becomes the goal. Such a person is a samsari. And the one who uses this life as the means and abidance in the truth as the goal, he is a seeker. Just change a little bit. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manokatha. So if we are thus understanding that desire should not be entertained, there should be no desires. Oh, it is such a simple thing. Why struggle so much? Then go to sleep. In sleep there is no desire. Try. How long can you sleep? You cannot sleep 24/7. Even if you are a Kumbhakarna, you will get up after 6 months. You cannot. So, we have to live our life dynamically without the burden of the desire fulfillment and the project of our life. And this all can happen only through understanding. That's all. Now one example I'll give you. We all do it, but we don't know we do it. In one place, one child, one good boy, so many children were chanting something. So he was also chanting, one among them, and he was chanting, all of them, 15th chapter of Gita. So all of them standing like this and chanting, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Urdhva Shakam. This boy, he did not move, he was steady, not looking here and there, and not doing, oh, I had a mistake. Nothing, very cool, calm, perfect chanting. Not one mistake. So after it was done, I called him and gave him a chocolate. He looked at it, he was very happy. He put it in his pocket. I said, come on, eat. He said, no, I won't eat. I said, then give back. He said, I won't give back. I said, then what will you do? He said, I will give to my sister. I said, sister will eat. What will you get? He couldn't answer that. He started looking here and there. What to tell this fellow? Then he asked me a question. Swami, do you have a sister? I said, no. Then you will not understand. See what a secret. What he meant is that when I will give it to my sister, I will be more happy than when I get it. See? This is rising above the desires. Normally, we become happy when we get something. When we discover happiness in giving, then our individuality is dissolving. This is the difference between we and God. God gives, we take. See, friends, therefore, living in meditation is discover the joy in sharing, caring and giving, not in having, possessing. What will I get? If this thought comes in our mind, when I do, what I will get, you are far away from the spiritual path. I was in Vrindavan and one person asked me this question. Swamiji, you people tell us to chant God's name. Please tell me what we get if we chant God's name. So I asked him, are you a Baniya? Banyam is the one who is engaged in doing trading. He said, why did you ask this question? I said, because this is a Banya Buddhi. What will I get? And then if you want to know, you will get nothing. Are you ready to chant? फिर क्यों chant करना? See friends, so Lord's name becomes a credit card and you can get the things. Then I told him, I said, Mahatma Ji, when real achievement happens, then the Lord's name comes on in our mouth, not otherwise. So the ability to chant Lord's name is the highest gain. There is nothing more to be gained from this. Exactly the same way, meditation is not getting anything. Meditation is not done for getting anything. Meditation is done for getting anything. Don't have that notion, I'll get something. Nothing you'll get. See friends, like you must have heard many people have this funny thing, the word meditation. Meditation for happiness, meditation for blood pressure, meditation for kidney stone. I have seen one place, meditation for early pregnancy. That poor child will suffer from then, my God, kaha ki mama mili. Abhi se meditation. I received one WhatsApp, and in that one dog was fed Ramdev Baba's biscuits, Patanjali biscuit, and the dog started sitting like this. See friends, don't imagine you are going to get anything. Forget about it. And it is not a threatening, but it is the truth. For example, when you go to sleep, what is the process of getting into sleep? Find out. In the process of sleep, we start giving up everything, is it not? Yesterday when we came here, we have given up our place of stay. We came here, we went for the lunch. After that, we have given up that place. We came here. The moment we came, aha, uhu, ihi, for some time. Then we had our satsang, our food. And then we went in a room. We were talking, gossiping. Slowly, slowly, everything we have given up. To the point that we have given up even the I. Till such time, I want to sleep. I want to sleep. I is, sleep doesn't begin. When the I is also dropped, the sleep begins even in the satsang. That is the reason I like the people who sleep in satsang. Because they have achieved everything. They have given up their I. Others are still struggling. Kaisa nikalu I? Go to sleep. See friends. So, even a simple thing like sleep demands that you have to quit. Exactly the same way. Vedanta Vijnana Sanishchitartha Sannyasa Yoga Yataya Shuddha Sattva. Vedanta Vijnana Sanishchitartha. According to Vedanta, what is the meaning of I? Sanishchitartha. We are firmly rooted in this. When I say I, what means I? See how many eyes are inside. When I say I am old, here I means body. When I say I am a girl, I means a gender. When I say I am a husband, so I means relation. When I say I am hungry, I means prana shakti. When I say I am miserable, I means the mind. When I say I am a self-made man, I am intellect. How many inside? We are not one. There is a crowd inside. Wherever there is a crowd, there cannot be peace. So what is the Vedanta Vijnana Sanishchitartha? Those who have clearly established in this according to the authority of the Vedanta. Now what is the authority of Vedanta? Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter. Bhagavan says, Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishtaha mattaha smriti jnanam apohanancha vedaisya sarvi ahameva vedyaha. I am the heart, essence of everything. See, like the waters say, I am the essence of the ocean, I am the essence of the waves, I am the essence of the steam, I am essence of the icebergs, I am essence of the dewdrops. Without that, these things cannot exist. So Bhagavan says, Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishtaha. I am the essence of everything. And mattaha, because of me, jnanam, waking experiences, smriti, dream experiences, apohanam, deep sleep experience, and chakara, samadhi, all these four are possible because of me. I only support the waking, I support the dream, I support the deep sleep, I support the samadhi. Sarvaihi vedaihi aham eva vidya. This I has to be recognized. This is the only purpose of meditation. Not doing anything, not getting anything. See, friends, to understand this point, take this way. There was one person, he was told by a mischief monger that, hey, I heard your son met with a terrible accident in US. So this person who was told this, naturally he got disturbed. My son met with an accident. He called his son in USA. And the son lifted the phone and scolded the father. How many times I told you, it is night here, you call wrong time out. The moment he got the scolding from his son, he felt happy. Oh, he's all right. So he imagined that something has gone wrong with me. So who was miserable? The father. Now every day we see on TV, so many shootings are happening. Do we become miserable? So who becomes miserable? Relational personality. See, friends, is this relational personality real or the man is real? The more you keep on reflecting in this line of thinking, you are practicing meditation 24/7 in your life. One more example I'll give you. It's very simple, friends, not difficult. One man, I'll take myself. I, the man. With reference to my father, who am I? Son. With reference to my wife, who am I? Husband. With reference to my son, who am I? Father. When my father dies, what happens to me, the son? When my wife dies, what happens to me, the husband? When my son dies, what happens to me, the father? Answer is nothing. Because they don't exist. If there is no man, can there be a son? If there is no man, can there be a husband? If there is no man, can there be a father? So who are these three fellows? Has that man become three? One. So these three who are appearing, they are non-existing. And these non-existing entities, they are becoming miserable. It is something like, you stand in front of the mirror, there are three mirrors. So, if one mirror is taken away, one has gone. No. If all the three go away, nothing happens to me. But if I go away, can these three exist? So who is the real? The man is the real. In the same manner, Bhagavan says, Mattaha smriti jnanam apohanancha. I alone support the waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi. Therefore, sarvaihi vedaihi ahameva vidya. The purpose of all the scriptures, all the Vedas, is only one thing. Ahameva vidya. What is worthy of knowing is who is this I. Instead of being, we get lost in becoming. In being, there is nothing but bliss. In becoming, there is nothing but blisters. Being is being one. Becoming is two. Man is being. Husband is two. See, wherever there are two, there is a noise. See, in Bhagavad Mahapuran, this story comes. Bhagwan Dattatreya tells the king Yadu, what is the secret of his happiness? He said, I learned from my gurus. And I am not poor to have only one guru. I have 24 gurus. Why there is a daridre about guru also? Ekkich guru hai. And who are those? He tells number of them. And one of them he tells that once I went for Bhiksha somewhere, I got the Bhiksha, in the afternoon I was just taking rest, and that girl in the house, she was pounding the rice, and there was only the sound of the pounding but no sound of her bangles. So when she came, I asked, how come there was no sound of your bangles? She was not a digital girl, so therefore she used to have the bangles in her. She said, I kept only two because I didn't want you to get disturbed because of that sound. But even two created a noise, so I removed even one. When there is one, there is no noise. Bhagavan Dattatreya said, this was my guru. When you are alone, there is bliss. When there are more than one, blisters. Vedaischa sarvai ahameva vidya. Abide in this knowledge. This is what is meant. Atmannevatmana tushtaha. We are at peace with ourselves. So what is the meaning of meditation? Meditation. Our life is no more a struggle to fulfill the desires, and we are at peace with ourselves. These two things together is living in meditation. We all suffer maximum because of ourselves, not because of others. Therefore, we cannot face ourselves. We want some kind of support. So either we will be playing, the useless game. We are afraid of ourselves. One grandmother scolded this NRI child. He was all the time playing. He said, come on, you're all the time playing inside the house. Go and play outside. He looked at him, okay. Went outside with that thing, sat outside. We are afraid of ourselves. The real courage and challenge is face your mind. When you remain aware of the mind will shut. But when the mind overpowers us, we are carried away by the mind. So living in meditation is this. Atmannevatmana tushtaha. Never become miserable because of anybody in this world. Don't try to make anybody happy in this world. Why? Everybody has the right to be miserable. This principle I learned from a taxi fellow. Therefore, my guru is not one. You are all my guru. These young girls, although they are pulled and brought over here, but they are still sitting. They are my guru. So, that taxi fellow, how he taught me. His taxi was ahead and I was in my friend's car. So my friend told Swami, the taxi fellow, the door is open. I'll take the car parallel and you tell him the door is open, he'll close it. We do it, is it not? So when we are going, the car came parallel and my friend down the glass and I said, hey Mahatma ji, your door is open. He said, who asked you? Mind your business. He did not insult, he is right. What business we have got to make somebody happy? From that day onward, tathastu. But we unnecessarily know, I tried to do so much for them, but they are not happy. It is your fault. Don't do that. If somebody is miserable, tabla bajao. Very good. But we all struggle. We try to prove, I care for you. I have done so much for you. It is your fault. I didn't ask you. See? One more thing I'll tell you deeply, understand, don't misunderstand. We do things for our children. Who wants whom? Parents want children. So if you are doing for your children, you are not obliging. The children want parent. If you are doing for your parents, it is your need. This principle I discovered when I was invited to talk in an orphanage, to talk to the orphans, children. There were about 70, 80 of them, and all age groups, as small as 5, 6 months to as big as 12, 15, 20 years. All of them sitting. And I have been talking to all platforms, but when I was sitting in front of them, I became dumbfounded. What do I talk to them? When we talk to children, what we talk normally? We talk about their parents, how they are helping you, how they are taking care of you. Now what do I talk to the children? You are unwanted, you are thrown by your parents, you are a burden to this world. Should I talk that? What do I talk? That day I realized, those who do not have elders in their life, they are poorer than the poorest. To have elders in one's life is a blessing in disguise. Then alone we can control ourselves. See, friends, in this manner, when we lead our life with this understanding, all that is around us is needed for our growth. Only thing that has to be done, take care of your mind. Don't try to meddle in anybody's life. Be at peace yourself and at peace with the whole world. A person who is disturbed will never like somebody at peace. Like you must have seen, God has created this world for fun. There is no purpose. It's for fun only. So what he does, he brings two opposite poles together, cathode and anode. Then only that light comes. So if the wife is happy-go-lucky, anytime she lands on the bed, she starts snoring in Saptaswara. And the husband is a perfectionist and he doesn't get sleep. He becomes more angry. You sleep, no, she is sleeping comfortably. Because he cannot sleep, he is angry. In the same manner, a person who is miserable, he doesn't like happy people. उनको क्या होता है? अरे, you also be happy. Who stopped you? Therefore, if you are at peace, you will be at peace with the whole world. With this understanding, when we lead our life, we are leading and living in meditation. This is the meaning. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmannevatmana tushtaha. Then alone our wisdom remains steady. With the steady wisdom alone we can lead a meaningful life. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.